This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week in our gospel lesson, Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are burdened and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." We're going to be thinking about that and meditating upon it in a special context this week of natural disasters, of wildfires, of flooding, of hurricanes, and of the continual seeming crises that we're facing, that we're reading about, or that we all have experienced. I certainly have the experience of 2 years ago of the wildfires here at Oregon, deeply embedded in my memory. And when Jesus says, "Come to me with all your burdens, and I will give you rest," in that moment, it also requires us to pause and say, what are the very burdens that we have in our own life? How has the challenge of the world around us been affecting us? And that's as true for what we would traditionally call natural disasters as we would for the pandemic, as we would for simply the trials that we're facing. So this Sunday we'll have an opportunity to pause and to be able to ask, how are we feeling burdened? How are we feeling tired? And sometimes we might not fully realize it until we come to that place where we do have some space for grief and space for hope, to see that Jesus is there with us in the midst of suffering, in the midst of disaster, and to recognize that while the whole creation might be groaning, that God has a plan, and that God has not abandoned us, and that in the midst of suffering, also, Jesus can come and say, "I will give you rest." This is 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.